Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, and in today's video I'm going to quickly go through what's available in terms of beard growth treatments. This is an area of increasing demand and interest. We see quite a bit of it in our clinic, but it's also something that's very commonly asked about, so I thought I'd cover it. Before we get started, if you're new to this channel, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you are an existing viewer, welcome back and thank you for your support. So very quickly, what do we mean by beard growth treatments? Because there's quite a few different things on the market and they all kind of claim to either grow beards, restore loss, that sort of thing. In order to understand those, it's really important to know what it is that you're trying to achieve or what you need from a beard growth treatment. I categorize them as three kind of types of treatments. One is what you tend to see over the counter that you can get without a prescription, and these tend to be beard oils, beard balms, lotions, that sort of thing. So that's kind of one group of things. The second is topical treatments, so in the form of lotions or creams or serums, but medicated, and so these you can only get by a prescription. And then the third are treatments that are a bit more involved, so the sort of thing that you would normally have to go in person for, into a clinic, probably see a dermatologist or a specialist hair transplant doctor. And so in that category, these are things like hair transplant surgeries, which I'm not going to cover in this video, but it's worth knowing about them because they can sometimes be done for beards for certain cases, but also systemic treatments, so oral treatments where there is an underlying cause for the beard loss, so that could be an autoimmune disease and that sort of thing. And so people tend to lump everything to do with the beard as one and either say, oh, you know, a simple oil can work and make these claims, or it can go to the other end where, you know, people discount any sort of treatment and say, well, it doesn't work and it's all rubbish and there's no evidence for any of it. And as always, the truth is in the middle of that. The first thing to do when you're considering a beard growth treatment is decide what the problem is, or figure out what the problem is. Is it that the beard is just, you know, naturally thin, slow growing, you've never been able to get much of a growth there, or is it that actually you've suddenly noticed patches of hair loss in the beard area, or there's some shedding of hair, or a beard that used to grow well but then more recently just doesn't seem to at all if it's very slow growing. So those are the kind of things that you have to figure out because each of these responds differently. And so the most common area is usually people who have kind of already kind of a thin beard and who have struggled to kind of grow it thicker or fuller. That's kind of the majority of people. And in those situations, there are a couple of things that could potentially be appropriate. So I'll start with kind of the over-the-counter beard oils and serums and supplements and balms and that sort of thing. These, no matter what anyone says, they're not entirely terrible, but they're also not always what they claim to be. So what they can't do is stimulate hair follicles that aren't producing hair to grow. So they're not, you know, going, if you don't have much in the way of hair follicles that produce facial hair, these are unlikely to kind of make new ones pop up or dormant ones pop up. But what they can do is condition the skin and condition the hair follicles themselves. And so that can lead to facial hair that is smoother, it's in better health, it's better condition, and perhaps may appear thicker. And that in itself can cause the beard to look fuller because the hairs themselves and the skin underneath is in better health. And so see them from that regard. It's a bit like a lot of over-the-counter hair treatments, hair growth treatments. They work by kind of improving what you already have. and basically improving the health and condition of the scalp in the case of hair loss. And so that improves the hairs that are already there, and so they look healthier, and that tends to make the hair loss look less significant. And so these kind of over-the-counter beard oils and beard creams and balms, see them in that light. They can have a positive effect with consistent use, but are they going to treat someone with patches of hair loss or in the beard, or a beard that's never started in the first place? It's unlikely, because that's just not what they're there for. And most I think, reputable brands don't make those exaggerated claims. They do talk about the conditioning effect and the health effect, but just know that. Then the next type of treatment, which is topical prescription treatment. So to start off, unlike with hair loss, there isn't anything that's actually licensed for facial hair growth. But off license, some patients can respond to things like topical minoxidil in that area, and there may be other agents like tretinoin, like melatonin, stuff like that, that can help. So in these situations, actually, these kind of treatments, where appropriate, they can help improve hair growth, facial hair growth, and hence can actually increase beard growth in some patients. Again, it's very much a patient-by-patient basis. It's not something that is offered widely, because it's not appropriate for everybody. And obviously, like all hair growth treatments, it's something that you have to continue using. But that's that side of things. And you might be wondering, well, what about DHT blockers? Because that's quite popular in hair loss. Could they be something used here? No, because actually androgens have a different, an opposite effect on the facial hair. So there are also some clinics who specialize in hormones, and they can offer testosterone-based treatments for patients with deficiency. So that's kind of in that world. Like I said, it's sort of not standardized, and it's very much individualized. And then the last option, I'm going to cover that quickly because I think it's important, and that's in the case of patients who actually have experienced hair loss in the facial area. I'm talking about potentially patches of bald skin in the facial, in the face. I'm talking about sudden kind of hair shedding, extreme kind of skin itchiness or skin problems that are resulting in the hair not growing normally. These are potentially serious medical causes, and so they always require a review, and to be honest, in my opinion, probably a physical review, because it could be that there's an autoimmune reason that's attacking the hair follicles, and so your hairs are falling out, and in those situations, sometimes people may just notice around the beard, but it could also be other areas of the body or on the face or on the scalp as well. So that sort of thing is important, and requires extensive blood tests to diagnose. It may require a biopsy. Again, certain infectious or inflammatory skin conditions can cause this, and again, they need a review and usually some form of diagnostics. If you have a patchy or slow-growing beard due to things like previous burns or scars or anything like that, that may require things like hair transplants. I'm going to leave it there, but just to summarize, first try and understand what you are in need of. If there is a sudden or dramatic change in your facial hair growth, your first port of call should always be to see your doctor, who can diagnose the cause, because it could be systemic. If, however, you just have always had a thin beard or a patchy beard and you're looking to make it fuller, then the other options may be over-the-counter treatments that can improve the condition of the follicles, or treatments, medicated treatments that can help stimulate more growth. All of these options can be useful for the right candidate. None of them are perfect, but each has their own use. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. I've left a link below to a post that I've written on beard growth and beard hair loss conditions, as well as potential treatments. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Until next time, stay beautiful.